Okay, assalamu alaikum students. Are you listening to me, beta?
वालेकुम सलाम, यस सर।
That's fine. बेटा आपने कुछ पूछना है? तो मुझे ऐसे फील हुआ जैसे कुछ पूछना चाह रहे हैं। मतलब तेरा वो जो बॉडी लैंग्वेज है ना, इट वाज लुकिंग मी लाइक दैट। आ जाओ यार, जल्दी आ जाओ तुम लोग। Okay, beta. So today we are going to start with the next part of our chapter, that is the salt. So we are going to start with the salts, but I have written the names of the acid. Why? What is the reason behind it? Okay. So everybody just focus up here. This is the periodic table. Yesterday I have told you कि below one element of group 3 just put a line, and below two elements of group 4 put a line, below three elements of group 5 put a line, and just like that below four elements of group 6 put a line, and you will get a staircase. This is the staircase. Okay. So all the elements which are present below the staircase, my dear, all these are called as the metals, and the elements which are present above the staircase, they are called as the non-metals. I have told you this thing again and again. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, beta, I'm going to take a metal from here. Okay. So all these are the metals. Okay. You can take any metal, like all these are metals present up here. I've just written the name of the three metals: potassium, calcium, and iron. Okay. Okay, beta. Now, what we are going to do? We are going to start with the salts. Okay. So, if somebody asks you that what is the salt, the answer is very simple. What is that? आप लोगों ने क्या करना है बच्चों कि किसी भी एसिड का जो हाइड्रोजन है उसको बाहर निकाल दो, ये H पॉजिटिव बाहर निकाल दो और इसकी जगह लगा दो कोई भी मेटल। मेटल आप कोई भी लगा सकते हैं। यहाँ पे जितनी भी ये मेटल्स हैं, यू कैन टेक एनी ऑफ द मेटल। okay, and join it with it. Let's suppose as a simple, I'm going to take the potassium metal K. Okay, so K has got the +1 charge, H has also got the +1 charge. So making formula, that would be easy for us. So I'm going to put the K up here, so it would become KNO3. So this one is called as the potassium nitrate. Just like that, beta, what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this hydrogen from here and put the metal up here. So it would become K2SO4 because there are the two hydrogen. So 2K would be attached with it. So it would become potassium sulfate. And just like that, just remove this hydrogen from here and put the K up here. So it would become KCl. So this is called as the potassium chloride. And just like that, this is H2. So at the place of hydrogen, you should put the K. So K2SO3. So this is called as the potassium sulfite. And this one K3PO4. Okay, so that would be potassium phosphate. And just like that, this last hydrogen should be replaced with the K, so it would become CH3COOK. So this is called as the potassium ethanoate. And this one K3PO3. So K3PO3, that would be potassium phosphite. Okay. So my dear students, all these things formed, they are called as salts. Okay. So if you people want to define the salt, so the answer is very simple. You take the acid, okay, remove the hydrogen of any acid and replace it with any of the metal present under the staircase. You can take any metal, you can take calcium nitrate. So that would be salt. You can take iron nitrate, that would be salt. Okay. So from here we can make the definition of the salt. So what is the definition of salt? If the hydrogen ion of an acid is replaced by some metallic ion, it will become salt. So this is the definition of the salt. If you remove the hydrogen of any acid and replace it with some metal, metal should be anything, I'm saying you again and again. You can take any of the metal from here. You are going to replace the hydrogen with some metallic ion, it will become the salt. So this is the proper definition of the salt. And now the next thing, keep remember, any salt has got the ending always on the word ADE, ITE and IDE. If you look at these names, have a look. This is ATE, 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 IDE, IDE, ITE. So ITE. This is ATE, ATE. This is ATE. This is ITE. So all the salts, my dear, they are going to have their ending at the word ATE, ITE and IDE. So up till now, we have discussed the two things. The first thing we have discussed, if the hydrogen ion of any acid that is replaced by some metallic ion, and that metal should be anything else under the staircase. Okay. So if you are going to replace them with some metallic ion, it will become the salt. Okay. And all the salts, they are going to have their ending at ATE, ITE, and IDE. You got it? Okay, guys. If you can copy it, can I rub it? Online students, can I rub it?
Sir, 1 minute.
Yes, beta. Can I rub this one? Guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my dear, the next thing we are going to start, that is the types of salts. So types of salts, there are two types. There are two types of the salts. The first one, that is called as the neutral salt. Okay. And the second one, that is called as the acidic salt. Okay. So these are the two types of the salts. Neutral salt and the acidic salts. So what are the neutral and what are the acidic salts? Neutral salt. Keep remember, my dear students, that any salt that is an ionic compound. Ionic compound means it contains metal and non-metal. Okay. So this neutral salt, it contains the two things inside it. The first thing, that is metal, and the second thing, that is non-metal. Okay. Whereas if you move towards the acidic salt, they contain the three things inside it. The first thing, that is metal, the second thing, that is hydrogen, and the third thing, that is non-metal. So these three things are present in the acidic salts. Okay, so you have got the neutral salt, you have got the acidic salt. Neutral salt is only made up of metal and non-metal, whereas the acidic salts, they are made up of metal, hydrogen, and non-metal. Is it clear? Okay. Now, before starting in the details of these things, I'm going to write down the three acids up here: HCl. The second one, that is H2SO4, and the third one, that is H3PO4. Okay, beta. So this acid HCl, if you dissolve it into the water, it only produces one hydrogen ion because it contains one hydrogen. So this type of acid, that is called as the mono basic acid. Okay, or this one is called as the monoprotic acid. Okay, because if you dissolve it in water, it is going to produce just one hydrogen ion. Okay, So that is why the word mono come from one. So basic mean it is going to produce H positive ion, and monoprotic protic word come from proton. H positive I have told you that is also called as the proton. Okay, so you people have got monobasic or monoprotic. These are the two names of it. And in papers 3 or 4 times these types of the questions they have come. They have asked you about the monobasic, monoprotic, and just like that, this one produces the 2 hydrogen ion. So this one is called as the dibasic or diprotic acid. And just like that, this one produces the 3 hydrogen ions. So this one is called as the tribasic or triprotic acid. You got it, guys? So these are the 3 types of the acids. Okay, monobasic. This one produces 2 hydrogen ions. So this is dibasic. This one produces 3 hydrogen ions. So that is the tribasic acid. Okay, now listen everything very carefully. Okay, and then after that I'm going to write something for you, but everybody just stop writing and just listen it carefully. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to take HCl. Okay, I'm going to take HCl. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take out its hydrogen and put metal up here. The metal I'm going to take, that is K. So it would become KCl. K, that is metal, and Cl, that is non-metal. So you people are going to get neutral salt because it contains metal and non-metal only. So KCl, that is only formed. Is it clear? Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the dibasic acid. Dibasic acid, H2SO4. H2 means that you people have got the 2 hydrogen and then SO4. So now what would happen here? First of all, this hydrogen will come out, and at the place of it, the K that would be attached. So it would become KHSO4. So K, that is metal, H, that is hydrogen, and SO4, that is non-metal. So you people are going to get the acidic salt KHSO4. Okay, and just like that, in the other step, this hydrogen would be removed and one more K would be attached with it. So it would become K2SO4. So this is metal and this is non-metal. So this is the neutral salt which is being produced, K2SO4. And just like that, my dear, if you take H3PO4, one by one of the hydrogen that would come out, and at the place of it, the K or any metal that would be attached. So it would form KH2PO4 because this one contains 3 hydrogen. One of the hydrogen that is replaced by the K. So it would become K, then H2PO4, and then you got K2HPO4. This is also acidic, and then you got K3PO4. So this one is neutral. So my dear students, now keep remember that if you people have got monobasic acid only contains 1 hydrogen, and that hydrogen has to be replaced by some metal. Okay, so as a result, you can only get the neutral salt. But in case of dibasic acids and tribasic acids, you people have got more than 1 hydrogen. So these hydrogens, they are replaced one by one. Okay, and as a result, you people are going to get the acidic salt as well as the neutral salt. So keep remember, the monobasic acid, it is unable to form any acidic salt, whereas dibasic and tribasic acids, they can form acidic as well as neutral salts. You got it? Everybody got it, beta?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to write down this thing up here. You can copy it now. Mono basic acid can only form neutral salt. Dibasic and tribasic acids can form neutral as well as acidic salts. Okay, guys, now you can copy it and then I'm going to write it.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर
Yes, beta.
सर ये वैलेंसी पर डिपेंड नहीं करता कि वो एसिडिक सॉल्ट बनेगा या न्यूट्रल सॉल्ट बनेगा
बेटा बता तो रहा हूं भाई, एक एक करके हाइड्रोजन उतरते हैं नॉर्मली। आप तो एकदम उतार देते हो ना, आपको जो सिखाया गया है वो डायरेक्ट इक्विवेलेंसीज के लिहाज से, लेकिन मैं बता रहा हूं कि जब भी कोई डाइबेसिक और ट्राइबेसिक एसिड होगा तो उसमें हाइड्रोजन एकदम नहीं उतरते, एक एक करके उतरते हैं, तो जिसकी वजह से आपके एसिडिक सॉल्ट्स भी फॉर्म होते हैं। यू गॉट इट?
जी सर सर एक और रिक्वेस्ट थी सर वो आज हमारा एटीपी था केमिस्ट्री का सर वो लकीली सर वो काफी बुरा हो गया है ये सर वो ये नहीं कि नहीं करना नहीं आता बिल्कुल भी तो सर उसकी कोई प्रैक्टिस होगी
जब वो आपकी पास पेपर की प्रैक्टिस उसकी होगी तो ऑटोमेटिकली आपको वो क्वेश्चन आ जाएंगे। आप टेंशन क्यों ले रहे हो यार? एक बार सिलेबस आता होगा तो देन यू वुड बी एबल टू डू द पास पेपर बेटा।
ओके सर सर तो वो पास पेपर सेशन कब होगा
यार होगा, तुम क्यों फिक्र कर रहे हो भाई? बेफिक्र हो जाओ, सारा कुछ करवाऊंगा। सिर्फ प्लीज आप एक बार सिलेबस जो है ना वो वाला सारा कर लो, उसके बाद यू विल गेट एवरीथिंग, डोंट यू वरी अबाउट इट। आप लोगों को लग रहा है कि ये चीजें जो है ना शायद आपको सिर्फ जस्ट रिवाइज my notes, they are actually the answers of different questions. When we will do the past paper, एक बार मुझे ये सिलेबस कंप्लीट करवाने दो, then we will do the past papers, P1 भी करेंगे, P2 भी करेंगे, P4 भी करेंगे। You will see, I'm going to give you reference from the notes. These notes, they are not the ordinary thing. These notes are the mixture from 15 different books. These are actually the answers of different Cambridge questions. Okay, so whatever you are going to do it. कल आप लोगों को एसिड और बेस बहुत मुश्किल लग रहा था, मैंने मुझे बताएं whatever I have told you, I have given you reference from my notes. Nothing special I have told you. The thing is that in chemistry, the attempting of question, that is a separate technique. So we will do it. Don't you worry about it. Okay. Can I rub this one? Yes. Can I rub this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, beta. Now we are going to start with one of the very important thing of the salt, that is also the types of salt. Okay, but this time we are going to discuss the types of salt on the basis of solubility. Okay, so let's start with the types of salts on the basis of solubility. So there are the two types of the salt. The first one that is called as the soluble salts, and the second one that is called as the insoluble salts. Okay, so these are the two types of the salts, soluble and insoluble. Okay, beta, as an ordinary person, if you people are going to ask your servant, if you are going to give him any salt, okay, and ask him, okay, tell me whether this is soluble in water or not, the servant, he is going to dissolve it in water and will let you know that this is soluble or this is insoluble. So ye kaam to an ordinary person can do it. As a science student, if you people just listen the name of any salt, just listen. By listening the name of the salt, you can tell that this salt is soluble and this salt is insoluble. Okay, so there is a key you should remember, and what is that key? Okay, have a look up here. There are the two types of the salts, soluble salts and the insoluble salts. Okay, so keep remember the first thing, all nitrates contain NO3 minus 1 are soluble. So any of the salt, my dear, which has got the ending at the word nitrate, so that is soluble. If I'm going to say you lead nitrate, you say soluble. Sodium nitrate, soluble. Iron nitrate, soluble. Okay, copper nitrate, soluble. If you just listen the name of the salt ending at the word nitrate, so you should close your eyes and tell that this salt is soluble. Okay, so this is the first thing about the solubility rule. The second thing, most halides. What is meant by the word halides? Just listen it carefully. In your periodic table, you people have got a group 7. Group 7 elements, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and astatine. These are the elements of group 7. Group 7s, they are called as the halogens. If these halogens, they are present in any salt, okay, so these salts are called as the halides. Okay, so in the salts, group 7, it has got -1 charge on it. So all of these things, they are having the minus charge. F -1, Cl -1, Br, that is -1, I, that is -1, At, that is -1. So these all things, if they are present in a salt, so most halides are soluble. So these are called as the halides. Okay, and there is an exception. There is one exception. Okay, and to remember this exception, my dear, you should learn this language. That is the slow learner man. Okay, so this is the thing you should remember. S word comes from silver, L word comes from lead, and M word comes from mercury. Okay, so these three are the metals. If these three metals, they are joined with these halides, those salts, they are insoluble. Okay, so silver has got the symbol Ag and it has got the valency +1. Lead has got the symbol Pb, it has got the valency Pb +2. Mercury has got the symbol Hg and it has got the valency +1. So if we join this silver to these halides, so all of them, they are soluble. Let's suppose join this one with this. So it would be silver chloride, then silver chloride, then silver bromide, then silver iodide, and then silver astatite. Okay, so all these salts in which the halides are present and they are joined with the silver, so all these are insoluble. And just like that, my dear, lead, if you join this one with this, so I told you how to make the formula. Pp is +2, F, that is -1, plus and minus that would be cancelled. 1 will come up here, 2 will come up here. So it would become PbF2. So PbF2, PbCl2, PbBr2, PbI2, dash dash dash. Okay, and just like that, mercury, it has got HgF, HgCl, HgBr, HgI, and HgAd. So all these salts, they are insoluble. If the silver, lead, and mercury, they are attached with these halides, those salts formed, they are insoluble. Otherwise, all the other metals, if they are attached with the halides, let's suppose if I'm going to say you iron chloride soluble, copper chloride soluble, sodium chloride soluble, calcium chloride soluble, okay, barium chloride soluble, magnesium chloride soluble. Only these metals, if they are attached with the halides, they are only insoluble. And to remember these three metals, you should learn this line. Slow learner man. Silver, S for silver, L for lead, and M for mercury. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, beta. So let's start with the next thing. That is most sulfates. Sulfates SO4 minus 2 are soluble. Okay, and here there is an exception. And what is the exception? Low blood cholesterol. So you should learn this language. Low L for lead, B for barium, and C for calcium. Okay, if these three metals, they are attached with the sulfate, lead has got the sign Pp plus 2, barium has got the sign Ba plus 2, calcium has got the sign Ca plus 2. If these are joined with the sulfate, so what would be their formula? PbSO4, BaSO4, and CaSO4. So if these three metals, my dear, they are attached with a sulfate, they are insoluble, whereas all the other sulfates, they are soluble. Okay, is it clear? Okay, the last thing, this is number 1, this is 2, this is 3, and the last thing you should remember that all carbonates has got the symbol CO3 minus 2. All carbonates are insoluble. I have written them under insoluble thing. So all carbonates are insoluble. And there is, my dear, exception. And what is the exception up here? For remembering this exception, you should learn this thing, K and N. KNNs, you have learned it. K for potassium carbonate, N for sodium carbonate, and N for ammonium carbonate, NH4 twice CO3. So all of these K, N, and N. So potassium carbonate, sodium carbonate, and ammonium carbonate. So these okay. So all carbonates are insoluble except for these three: K for potassium, N for sodium, and N for ammonium. So potassium carbonate, sodium carbonate, and ammonium carbonate. It's not necessary that you should learn all these stuff. If you want to remember it some other way, that's okay. But for your convenience, I have made all these things so that you can learn it easily. You got it, guys? And this thing is very important in the preparation of salt. So tomorrow everybody should learn this chart. If anybody knows the solubility rules, then you people would be able to make any salt. So the next topic is very important, that is the preparation of salts. And preparation of salt, keep remember, it always comes in the paper 4, paper 1 and paper 2. Okay, so these type of the questions. So we will discuss them inshallah from tomorrow. Okay, so you should learn these solubility rules. If you want to ask me something, you can ask me. कहा तुम परेशान मत हो यार, तुम टेंशन में मत आओ बॉय. एक बार सिलेबस कंप्लीट हो गया ना, जब तुम्हें इंफॉर्मेशन आ जाएगी, then you would be able to बेटा every paper.
सर मैं तो बल्कि P4 एग्जाम करवाने का सोचना शुरू हो गया था.
No, not at all, कोई जरूरत नहीं है यार. P4 मैंने तुम्हें सिर्फ 8 दिन करवाना है, just 1 day. और तुम्हारे 60 में से 55, 57, 58 ऑटोमेटिकली आना शुरू हो जाएंगे. यार प्लीज मेरे ऊपर यकीन करो, डोंट यू वरी अबाउट.
ओके सर.